Hey, what's up everybody? I certainly hope all is going well for you guys out there. I want to thank you as always for stopping by the channel today. We're talking all about Tom Hanks. This guy is virtually a national treasure these days. He's a two-time Oscar winner, and if you were born after, I would say, 1995, most likely you only relate Hanks to powerful dramas like Forrest Gump, The Green Mile, Castaway, and so many others. And it's pretty easy to see why. He's known for his character acting and his just natural ability to grip at the heartstrings of viewers. Like I've said, he's won 2 Oscars for Best Actor, he's been nominated 4 other times, and he could easily be a 6-time winner in my opinion. But before Tom Hanks was seated comfortably among Hollywood royalty, he was a fantastic comedic actor. Tom Hanks got his big break on the TV show Bosom Buddies, a sitcom that is as 80s as anything you will ever see. The show went on to have 2 seasons, and his chemistry with Peter Scolari, as well as his own comedic timing, made the show a surprise hit. Hanks would show up in some smaller parts on other TV shows in the early 80s, such as The Love Boat, Taxi, and Happy Days, but in 1984 he would catch the world's attention in his role opposite Daryl Hannah in the romantic comedy Splash. From there, Tom Hanks would continue in the genre of comedy, making himself a household name at the time while proving he was a bankable comedic actor to studios. And throughout the 80s, Hanks starred in a string of comedies with some of the biggest names in the industry, and in this video, I'm going to cover my top 5 favorite Tom Hanks comedies from the 80s. So, let's dive right into it. Coming in at number 5 on my list is Bachelor Party from 1984. This is easily the raunchiest Tom Hanks movie you're going to find, but it's also the textbook definition of what 80s adult comedies were. It's filled with drug and sexual themes, but it also has a pretty clever script to it. I didn't think the humor was lazy. The situations and the dialogue between the characters had a capable sense of humor. It kind of felt natural to the scenarios, and it results in some great time period laughs as this wild night unfolds. This was never a movie aimed for intelligent, sharp-witted comedy. It was lewd, loaded with nudity. I remember seeing this on late-night cable as a kid, and to no surprise, it certainly made my adolescence radar throughout the years. But still though, as I got older, I was able to catch the small doses of innuendo, and the imagery slipped into the film, which only adds to the humor. And sure, many of the references are very dated, but it's to be expected when you go back to watch raunchy comedies from the 80s, and despite the subject matter, the natural charm from Tom Hanks does shine through. It's almost able to give this section drug-fueled story just that whisper of wholesomeness, and the movie's still great after all these years later. Coming in at number 4 on my list, I have Big from 1988, which is easily Hanks' most iconic 80s movies. Many would have this one up on their list a little bit higher than I do. I do love this movie, but I view it as more of a drama, so when looking for lighter comedy, I often pass on this one. There is, though, some quality humor to be found here. Hanks is fantastic as this kid inside of an adult body, which did make the body swap storyline effectively heartwarming. The storyline is layered, and through the eyes of a kid, it explores friendship and love and growing up and just becoming an adult. From the eyes of an adult, it explores embracing that youthful spirit inside of yourself to kind of keep your life from becoming mundane and predetermined, and it also touches on relationships from the adult perspective. Hanks, without question, flexes his comedic muscles as well as his dramatic chops. It was perfect for blending all these story elements together. This movie certainly does deliver some laughs. It connects me to my childish spirit animal, but when I watch this movie, I always connect much more with the emotionally driven moments, but I gotta say, what laughs it does deliver are nicely timed with a variety to them. They're incorporated into the story nicely, and without question, the comedic bits are delivered perfectly by Hanks, making it easy to see why this is one of his more popular movies. Next up on my list at number 3 is The Money Pit from 1986, where Tom Hanks co-starred with Shelley Long to create a great duo for this House from Hell comedy. I'll admit the film does start out a little bit slow, but once it gets rolling and Hanks and Long enter this house, the laughs are constant. This movie is just a string of effective practical humor as this massive home falls apart all around these characters. The comedic attempts range from just small things like a door not opening to large comically intricate set pieces like Hanks destroying the construction site, and they all result in laughter. Nothing goes in the favor of the main characters in this movie, and both Hanks and Long play on each situational bit nicely to elevate the laughs a lot. Physical humor is a constant focus. It actually gives the film a bit of a timeless feel, despite also feeling very nostalgic to the styling and trends of the time period. Watching this couple lose their sanity as things go from bad to worse, to me, just never gets old, and watching Hanks and Long just mentally deteriorate is hilarious. It's way over the top, but also subtly grounded to keep it from feeling like slapstick humor. There's just a charm to this one that makes me feel good every time I watch it. Coming in at number 2 on my list is Turner and Hooch from 1989, which in my opinion is still the best dog-human buddy movie ever made. Watching the uptight cop grow a friendship with this very rough around the edges dog throughout this story never fails to evoke a ton of laughs. This movie just makes me feel happy every time I watch it. It's because of the chemistry and the connection between Hanks and this intrusive dog named Hooch. I think Tom Hanks was perfectly cast as the lead, and watching his life just be turned upside down by Hooch delivers comical dialogue and excellent physical humor. This movie just shows that sometimes you need to destroy a lifestyle in order to just find a healthier and happier one, and Hooch is the perfect choice for the destructor, as this movie shows. But this one also did have a solid crime to solve at the center of the plot to really keep things moving. The supporting cast of Nelson, Bell Johnson, and Winningham really do add a lot of life to their characters, but there's no doubt the true co-star of this film was Hooch. He's just unknowingly hilarious, and Hanks' reactions to his antics is the definition of authentic comedy. It doesn't try to do too hard, it keeps itself just serious enough, and results in a late 80s movie that still is a very good watch today. And with that, we're already at the number 1 spot on my list of favorite Tom Hanks 80s comedies, and I gotta pick no other film than The Burbs from 1989. This was a quirky, wildly eccentric film. It's part parody, part humor, part comedy, part action, part mystery, and 100% amusing from start to finish. Every time watching Hanks, Dern, and Dukeman try to just find out what's going on in this home on their suburban street is just, in my opinion, just pure entertainment. It's a great ensemble cast, and yes, Hanks is the lead, but each one of these characters really does have their moments to shine. It creates a charming variety to the attempts at humor. It really explores the passing of urban legends in the neighborhood and how sometimes those dark tales actually are true. I love the personality infused into each of the characters. They all kind of feel unique despite each one in varying levels playing on the stereotypes of their roles. Each one is vastly different, yet they blend together perfectly as neighbors. You know something is going on in this sinister house on their street, but you can't be too sure how these bumbling friends are going to be able to prove it, and that's where the comedy really does thrive. Again, Tom Hanks pours himself into this by-the-book, uptight American role, and watching him evolve from just simple curiosity about his neighbor to becoming the suburban sheriff is hilarious. This one delivers natural humor through the dialogue. It has endless waves of physical and visual laughs, and it's topped off with just a theatrically embellished musical score to give the entire movie its own mood and atmosphere. This movie just pulls you into the heart of the American suburbs, and it does so with an adventurous comedy that is still, I gotta say, pretty unique even all these years later. And that's my list. Those are my favorite Tom Hanks comedies from the 80s. I certainly do love the dramatic roles he's taken over the years, but I always enjoy going back and watching him in the genre where he started it all. I think his career in comedy certainly could have lasted longer than it did, but staying relevant in the field of laughter isn't easy. He certainly had much more to offer as an actor, and he's still going strong today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to let me know what some of your favorite Tom Hanks movies are down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to talk movies with you guys. Share it with your friends, and without question, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can never miss a video. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. All my social media links and the link to our official website are down in the description below, and I'll catch you next time.